Greensboro has an amazing network of trails, like the Downtown Greenway, of course. But Greensboro trails are part of an even bigger network of trails that stretch across the Piedmont. These are Piedmont Legacy Trails. Palmer McIntyre is a conservation planner with Piedmont Land Conservancy. So what is PLC?
Piedmont Land Conservancy is a regional nonprofit land trust, and what we do is conserve important natural lands in 9 counties in Piedmont, North Carolina. So family farms, natural areas, urban parks, state parks. So we're all about preserving natural lands and waters.
And promoting them too.
We do have some public access areas. A lot of the land we protect is private property, which means it will always be natural. But we do help add land to state parks, local parks, city parks, and that kind of thing that is available for public access. And we do own and manage our own nature preserve called Knight Brown Nature Preserve. It's up in Stokesdale near Blues Lake.
And so you have some signs with you, Piedmont Legacy Trails. What are these?
So recently we started a new initiative in partnership with Piedmont Triad Regional Council. And the new partnership is called Piedmont Legacy Trails. And what we're trying to do with this is promote trails all across our region, all across the Piedmont Triad Regional Council region, which is 12 counties. And we have a lot of great trails already in these counties. There's a national trail in Randolph County called the Uwharrie National Recreation Trail. We have several state trails in our region, including the Mountains of Sea Trail. We have the Yadkin River Trail and the Deep River Trail, so those are all state trails. And then hundreds of miles of local trails. So what we want to do is promote and brand these trails, elevate their profile to people in our region, but also to visitors, because we want people to come to our region to use these trails and appreciate them. And there are so many benefits that these trails can provide to our communities and our residents.
Elizabeth Jernigan is a trail planner with Greensboro Parks and Recreation. Of course, we're on the Nat Green Trail right by Lake Brant, and it feels like we're so far away from city life right now.
Yes. A lot of our residents and visitors don't realize that our downtown area is only about 10 minutes from all of our tremendous trail networks. We have over 40 miles of watershed trails, and those are the trails that surround our watershed lakes, and it provides a phenomenal outdoor experience right out your back door.
And so why is this connection and partnership with Piedmont Land Conservancy so important?
It's really important to us because our users don't care whether they're on a city trail, a county trail, or a trail leading to another jurisdiction. So it's really important for us to provide those connections to other communities. And so participating with the Piedmont Legacy Trails Initiative has been really instrumental for us in making those connections, because it's really hard to communicate with that many other people and that many other systems. So this really is part of a regional effort to improve access to all of the trails in our region, not just Greensboro trails.
Christopher Horrigan is the Parks Division Director of Guilford County Parks. And where are we now? Tell folks where we are.
Yes, we are on the wetland overlook on the Richardson-Taylor Wetland Trail.
Okay, and what kind of trail is this? I know there are active parks, passive parks, greenway.
Yes, this is one of our passive park trails. We have 9 passive parks, about 2,500 acres, and we have at least another half dozen properties that we look forward to opening in the future.
Can you explain what the difference is between an active park and a passive park?
Yeah, absolutely. So think about your active parks. You're thinking about your baseball fields, your event centers, your pools, your aquatic centers. You're thinking about your human-built structures. Here in the passive parks, we want to bring nature forward, so we're focusing on the natural elements in our preserves.
And this is a beautiful spot, and we are, just a couple of miles outside of Greensboro city limits.
Yes, absolutely. And I think this is a really good spot to talk about what passive parks are really about. It's about partnerships. It's about partnerships between the wildlife that's here, the people who come to visit it, and the partners who make this possible, like the Boy Scouts who built this trail, Piedmont Land Conservancy, Bill Kraft, the Friends of Mountains to Sea Trails who help us manage our facilities. We couldn't do this without our community partners.
David Kraft is a board member of the Piedmont Land Conservancy. He is also just an advocate for trails in the community, and you have been since you were just a little kid.
I absolutely have. I helped build this trail almost 40 years ago with my dad and a bunch of his friends. The Boy Scouts came out here, and we led the inaugural hike from Northeast High School to Guilford Battleground to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the battle.
And we're on the Nat Green Trail at Lake Brent Marina, kind of at the start of it. And so you actually walked this. You were one of the first ones to do it.
One of the first ones to walk this trail in 1981.
open it. And since then, you have become involved and stay involved with trails and the building of trails and the preservation of land in and around Greensboro.
Well, I have a great appreciation of the outdoors. I love hiking and walking. It's so relaxing. It's good for you. It's nature's way to say just chill out. And the only way we're going to keep this going is we just got to keep building more trails as more people move to the area.
Dabney Sanders is the project manager for the Downtown Greenway. Where are we in the Greenway construction right now?
Well, we are standing on Eugene Street. This is a section that we've recently finished, and we're real excited because we've got Deep Roots Market behind us, and we've got lots of breweries and restaurants and apartment complexes. It's just a real hub of activity.
And we're so excited to see this because, again, we're adding to the network of greenways and trails in and around Greensboro. That's just what so many people have become to love. And also, things are popping up, places to eat, places to recreate, places to live.
Yes, that's one of the things we're really excited about, all of the development that's happening and the excitement that we're feeling from the community, both people who live here, but also people who don't live here who want to invest here because of what they see happening with the Downtown Greenway.
Greensboro City Council member Justin Outling is a trail and Greensboro advocate, I know. So when we think about trails, we think about usually, kind of nature and quiet, but this one is right in the middle of downtown Greensboro.
The trails and greenways in Greensboro have had a transformational impact on the city. No better example than the Downtown Greenway.
Right.
4-mile loop going around downtown, connecting Greensboro's wonderful neighborhoods to the center of the city.
And here we are. This one's called Lo-Fi Park, right?
Lo-Fi Park and Lower Fisher Park. It's the home to Joymongers, obviously the baseball stadium, a number of new residential developments, all happened because of the trails and greenways, specifically the Downtown Greenway.
And so this is a place, obviously, for recreation and for exercise, but also for social time.
Yeah, lots of great social time. Folks can grab a beer at Joymongers or Pryor's and kind of hang out at one of the wonderful restaurants. And in this area of the city, we've seen over $217 million in economic impact from a relatively small investment of the Greenway. So it's been a tremendous thing, socially, economically, just lots of great things happening because of our trails and greenways.
And bringing people to Greensboro, visitors and new businesses.
Yeah, folks love being in Greensboro in large part because of the wonderful trails and green spaces that it has. So the city has strategically invested with the benefit of a lot of funding from private donations and the generosity of the community to create wonderful spaces like Lo-Fi Park.
So what's the future for Legacy Trails and PLC and really trails, not only in Greensboro, but this region?
Well, we have made a great strides in our 12-county region. We have local approval from almost every county. Many of the municipalities, we're working with Guilford County, the Randolph County Trails Commission. There's a Dan River Basin Trails Group, Elkin River Valley. So now we're trying to promote other groups and to start up and start working their area. So all this is a really local effort, but it only comes together with a regional push behind it.
I didn't even mention paddle trails. So we have 4 great rivers in our region: the Dan, the Yadkin, the Deep, the Haw. And all these rivers have networks of put-ins and takeouts and different outfitters that service those rivers with guides and equipment. And you don't have to go to the mountains to have a great experience on the water you can be right here in our region and do that.
What do you love about the trails in Greensboro?
Everything. I love that you can go through all these different types of ecosystems. You get to see the watershed component. You get to feel like you're just lost in the woods. Not lost, I guess that's a bad way to put it, but
There are plenty of markers. Don't worry, you'll be just fine, but you stay along the trail.
yeah, and we are really fortunate that we have just a lot of access points on our trails, and so you can really access diverse types of trails within a very short amount of time.
People want access to more trails because there's such diverse use. You can hike on them, you can jog on them, you can do it alone, you can do it with friends, you can come and set up an easel and paint, you can take photography, you can birdwatch, you can just do so much with trails as opposed to other recreation facilities where it tends to aim towards a specific sport or a specific activity.
And it's 100% free every day.
And it's 100% free every day.
Do you have a favorite thing to do on the trails? Do you like to bike, run, walk, paddle? What is it? What really drives your soul?
I love being on the water, but I also love hiking in some of our state parks and seeing great views.
What is it about this area and the trails here? I mean, you are kind of semi-retired. You could go somewhere else and hike in some of the mountains or the coast, but you chose the Piedmont.
Well, I have been a lot of places all over the world to hike, but I love just coming here. You just sort of settle in, you see the trees you're familiar with, you see a box turtle walking across the trail, you run into your friends. So it's win-win-win.
What do you love most about the downtown Greenway, but particularly Greensboro, and how it's embraced this walkability, not just within the city, but kind of in and around it?
Well, I'll say I love the public art that we've put on the downtown Greenway. It's a way that we tell the community stories. It's a way that we attract people to want to explore the Greenway. So we have people that are using it for exercise, running and cycling. And then we have people who are just using it to get from one place to another. And then we have people who really want to go and see this incredible public art that we have. And in seeing that public art, you inevitably then learn a little something about Greensboro that maybe you didn't know before.
But I personally love the downtown Greenway. It's convenient, it connects you to wonderful neighborhoods around the city, and it gives you a place where you can recreate but also have an urban feel, and it has a lot of wonderful, terrific art. So my favorite by far, downtown Greenway.
Ready to check out some of the beauty along the Piedmont Trails? Go online first and make a plan. Head to PiedmontTrails.org.